All right. Welcome to Broadcast to Badass by Best Life Ever with your host, Kimi Ann Pua. If you're ready to stop struggling, stop hustling, and start living your best life ever, you are in the right place. And before we get started, we just wanted to take a moment to have you subscribe to our podcast. It would mean so much to us. And that way, you know, you'll never miss an episode. So wherever you're listening to this, definitely take a moment right now, click subscribe, and we thank you.
You know why we're asking you to do that? Because so many of you guys listen to our podcast on our website and it's not there anymore. We took it away. Too bad. Nah, just kidding. We did it on purpose. So I don't know if you guys saw, but we did an interview with an amazing person on an amazing podcast, Greg Clunis from the Tiny Leaps podcast. And he's a podcast whiz. If you guys have any questions about podcasts or you just want to see an example of a really epic podcast and a great host, check out his podcast. But he's recommended that we make sure that everybody is actually listening to us from a podcast app, because it just is better for the numbers, for the algorithms, and also it provides a better user experience. So if you guys have podcasts out there, definitely check him out and, consider taking the podcast off your website.
Yes, he also recommended to us to get on Spotify. We're super grateful for that tip as well. So you can find us there, or maybe you're listening on Spotify right now. If you are, hi.
It's pretty cool.
We love you.
Like,
Thank
to me,
you.
Spotify is pretty legit. It's pretty awesome to be there.
Yes, for sure. But you know what you can get on our website?
What?
You like that segue? You can download our checklist that we're going to be talking about today. So today's episode, this is a really fun one, and we're going to be breaking down basically each one of the 5 secrets that we have in a special checklist that you can get on our website, 5 secrets to building a badass online business. And across this month and a little bit into next, we're going to be covering each one of these 5 secrets in this podcast. And today's is all about taking inspired, imperfect action. So we're going to dig a little bit deeper into each one of these. So you can follow along. So you can get your little checklist to print out, or don't print it if you want to save the planet, but just have it in front of you. Just have it and take notes, listen up. You can get that at bestlifeever.buzz. And you can just enter your email in there, or if you're already on our list and you don't want to enter your email, you can just email us at aloha@bestlifeever.buzz and we'll send it to you. Okay. So in today's podcast, we're going to talk all about the first little tip secret that we have there on the checklist, and that is to take inspired, imperfect action. And I say imperfect like that, all in capitals, because that's really what this is all about. It's about not letting perfection be the enemy of good.
On your checklist, the first thing under take inspired, imperfect action is getting clear on your big vision. And somehow these will line up really nicely, and they may seem like they're very unrelated. But the reason why getting clear on your big vision is so important for you to take imperfect action is because you need to be in alignment with what you envision, not only for your business, but for your life. So when we are inspired by something, right, when we know what we want to do, when we know what lights us up, it makes taking action easier and more fun. The other thing is it makes what we're doing relatable and authentic. So when we take imperfect action with authenticity, it actually makes us more human. So what we mean by that is, say you are really excited about launching this thing, right? And you're like, well, I want to launch it tomorrow, but I don't know if I'll have everything ready. I don't know if everything will be perfect, but tomorrow's the day. I really want to get it out there tomorrow. So you write all these emails, you get all of your things lined up, and you're like, okay, I'm doing it. Here we go. And you hit launch. And as the emails go out, you realize that you made a typo. If you are excited about what you're doing, if the meaning behind whatever it is you're launching, if your why is coming through strong enough, those typos don't matter. They just don't. because people will see you behind your words. They'll see your intention. They'll know that you're coming from a place of service. So really that typo, all it does is it makes people kind of fall in love with you more, right? And this is just one example. Typo isn't the only thing that we could potentially kind of screw up as we take imperfect action, but it's something that we can relate to. So when we are really clear about our vision, when we really know how we can act in alignment with what we want for ourselves, the little things that could go wrong and often do go wrong, they don't matter, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, we talk to so many people and they're wanting to take action. They're wanting to move forward in some area of their business or their life, but they're feeling kind of stuck. They don't feel like they're ready. They're not quite ready to put themselves out there. We hear that a lot. And as Pua was saying, when you are so clear and your mission and your why is so strong, it's like that becomes way louder than the fears that we have about what people will think of us if we, put something out there that isn't polished, isn't perfect. And so it's about amplifying that, getting that energy, really, fired up around the vision, around the why, around that big thing that you want, your big dreams, so that you let that drive you, right? And then those little things don't matter as much. And I think the reason that we get stuck often is because we spend a lot of time and energy magnifying the fears, magnifying those thoughts, patterns of like, what will people think? What if people don't like it? What if people, don't want to, don't think I have anything important to say? Like there's so many fears that come up surrounding what others will think about us in particular. And so, yeah, we tend to blow all that stuff up. Instead, we can blow up our big vision and let that be the thing that guides our way.
Yeah, and when we do big, like we experience this all the time. So we do big visioning every 3 months or so, every quarter, and it's so exciting. Like we get into this space of like it's so expansive, and we're just like, oh my God, we can't wait to do this, we can't wait to do that. That is a place that you want to take action in. That is a mindset that people will feel that excitement. They'll feel the love. They'll feel your intention. And I know it sounds crazy because you're like, how can anyone feel anything over an email? I swear to you, go into your email right now, like in your whatever you subscribe to, and read a few of them. You can really feel the emotions behind at least some of them. I guarantee you'll be able to. And that is such a better place to come from than from a place of like, oh my God, I'm so scared, but I'm just going to do this because Kimi and Pua said so. Like, don't blame us. But get in an excited state and then take action from there. So I guess that's a good segue into our next one, which is identify 3 of your most important bold actions, or what we like to call amoebas, because it sounds like amoeba.
Amoeba.
But amoeba. But it's like and then from that place of excitement and expansion, find 3 things. Just 3. 3 is a really small number. Find 3 things that you can take action on today that will get you closer to that big vision, and then take action on them. That's the other thing. You got to take the action.
Yeah, we love this practice of identifying just 3 action steps that you can take. And they don't necessarily have to be ginormous either. They can be little steps. They can be inspired steps. But the point is to just identify 3 things that will move you in the direction of your dreams. Like undoubtedly they will move you in that direction. And it's great. We have a practice every Monday in our Facebook group, and everybody posts their 3 amoebas of the week. And we like having it there because it's a reminder for us too. And having that big vision first is important because that's the foundation from which then you create your amoebas. So, okay, big vision. And then from there, what are 3 things that I can do right now that will take me closer to that vision? And 3 is great because then you're not like, oh my God, there's so much to do, I'm so overwhelmed. It's just 3 bold things you can do. And you probably know what these are. That's the other thing. It's like when we take pen to paper, we know. It's just that when we don't put some intention behind this, all of the ideas are swimming around in our head like a big stew, and it leaves us feeling like that paralysis from analysis type of feeling that we get. So get pen and paper, write it down.
Totally. The two things that I hear people talk about most, like yes, we are people who coach others to start businesses, but some of the people that kind of reach out to us on the side, people want to write a book and people want to start a podcast. And those are two things that you don't need anything to do. I mean, podcast, you need like a computer, maybe, right? But to write a book, people have written books on napkins. And yet that's something that people will always put on their like vision boards and New Year's resolutions. And it's just a thing that all you need to do is take action on and start. And then you don't want to write a book. You are writing a book.
Right.
Same with a podcast. Just start. And I remember someone talking to me about starting a podcast, and we were talking with a group of people, and there was a lot of fear around that because you weren't sure that anyone would listen. And we will say that there was a part of us at some point where we were like, do you think anyone is actually listening to this podcast? And, along the way, people will say, oh, I heard your podcast, and you have no idea that they're listening. But no one will listen to something that's not out there to listen to. Same with anything that you want to sell. If you want to sell something, don't be afraid to put it out there because no one's buying it right now.
Right.
So, right?
Can I tell you, I will never tire of people coming up to us and saying that they listen to our show. Like, it freaks me out every single time. I love it. And like, I still can't believe, like, we can have 10,000 episodes out and it will still surprise and delight me when somebody's like, oh, I listened to your podcast. I'm like, what, you do? Oh my God. I think that's how it is as entrepreneurs and content creators. Like, there is always that little kid in us that just thinks that only our mom is listening, no matter when, like, I see the stats, I see the numbers, but I'm like, I still just feel like it's like our friends, my mom, it's like so cool. Remember we said like one of our success markers in the beginning when we started this was when if a stranger said, I listened to your podcast, we're like, oh my God. And when we hit that, it was like, it's cool. That's a cool little tip too, is have some success markers, because it is weird on your journey where if you don't have those and you haven't kind of stated them out loud, that you might pass them by. And those are little moments to really celebrate. So yeah.
Totally. Yeah. Like there was someone that came up to us last week and she was like, hey, I know who you two are. And we were like, you do?
You do?
She's like, you're Kimi and you're Pua. And I was like, oh my God, it's happening.
It's happening. It's so awesome. So fun. Yes. Wait, I was going to say something else about Me-Buzz, I think. What was it? I forget. I got so excited thinking about people actually listening to us. Oh, I know what I was going to say. I was going to say that the other thing that we hear so often, and it's partly why we created Broadcast to Badass, is people are always talking about building online courses. Like, it's like they're on their bucket list, like it's a someday thing. And I think what gets us so excited about our course and about the work that we do is like, we're like, you can do that like now. Like, you probably have enough content. You definitely are a teacher. Everybody's a teacher, and you can have a course. Like, it's not a big far away thing that is reserved for the elite or anything. And we can help you. So yeah, that's another place where it's just like taking a little inspired, bold action. You can be up and running way faster than you think.
That's really what this is about, I think, is just giving you the okay, like giving you the green light. And we've done podcast episodes like this before and Facebook Lives and everything. So, consider this exposure number 7 or whatever that number is that you need to take action. But this really is we are here to do, I feel, on this earth. One of the many things is to really just give you the permission that you think you need, even though you don't, to just start doing whatever it is that you've been wanting to do and turn it from something that you want to be doing to something that you're doing. That's it. And that's all a little action is. One of your Me-Buzz, not even all 3, just one makes that happen.
Yes.
It makes your dream a reality.
I love it. It's like Greg, how he talks about tiny leaps.
Yeah.
Little tiny leaps to create big change. Yes. Now let's talk about Accountability. Oh my goodness. We always say like accountability is often the secret sauce that is missing. And especially when it comes to taking inspired action of any kind, taking especially imperfect action. And Pua and I are so blessed, as we've shared. We feel so lucky to have had each other because my goodness, like Pua pushes me to take inspired and perfect action all day long. and just like having each other I just think of like the Thelma and Louise, like, like the flight.
I would drive off a cliff with you any day.
Right? It's like, how many times a day are we driving off little mini cliffs by like pressing send or pressing publish on something? And so it's really great to have that partner in badassery that you can sort of hold hands and be like, fuck it, and just go together into the wind. So we want to be that for you. So definitely know that we will be your Thelma and your Louise, and that, really surround yourself with people that are like, go for it. Because listen, if you're surrounding yourself in your life and in your business with people that are like, maybe you should rethink that, or maybe you should reread that. I mean, okay, I should say sometimes that's great. And, people will give you wonderful feedback. But if you have people that are like slowing you down because of their own fears that they're projecting on you, it can be really defeating and frustrating. And the energy shift that can happen when you surround yourself with people that are like, let's do it. Let's go for it. Yeah, come on, let's do it. Maybe tweak this a little bit and then launch it. Just do it. That energy around you is so powerful, and it's contagious, and it is a choice who we surround ourselves by. So maybe take a little moment and think about who your cheerleaders are and reconnect with them, and focus on maybe one of your amoebas is getting yourself in that energy as much as you can.
Getting yourself in the Best Life Ever tribe on Facebook.
Boom.
It's a free group. It's closed, so you have to ask to join. And we love that when you fill out the questions and you say you heard about us on the podcast. But if you guys they're like, well, you asked me questions, I'm not going to join. Here's a little secret. You don't actually have to answer them to ask to join. So
can we just talk about those?
I shouldn't have said that. But
can we just talk about those questions for a second? Because we do read the answers every time, and the questions that we have, it's like, what brings you? How'd you find us? And then, which we love, by the way, and we think that's cool to find out. So definitely answer that one if you can. And then it's like, what are your goals? Something like that. I forget exactly, but the last one is, have you told yourself how amazing you are today, right? Or how awesome you are today. And it's so interesting how many people say no. But this is usually like, no, but I will now. So it's like, it's just like, it just makes me, every time I see somebody say no, I want to just hug them immediately and be like, you're awesome.
I know.
So everybody should
nobody's going to answer it truthfully.
Everybody right now should just say to themselves, how awesome you are.
Freaking awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah. And then you can join the tribe and not lie to us when you say yes.
Right. Yes. I like the ones too, like, no, but I'm going to now. Thank you. Yeah. We get those.
My favorite though is, heck yeah.
Oh yeah, we get a lot of those too.
Of course. Or I say it every day.
I love it. So fun.
So awesome. The tribe is so fun. And what's really awesome about that too, as Kimi said, there's so much support there, and it's really fun to celebrate with people. And it's really celebrating personal victories or, professional victories at all. Any kind of celebration doesn't happen enough. It really doesn't. And we feel selfish, we feel guilty, we feel cheesy, we feel cocky, whatever it is, whatever that judgment is surrounding our own ability to celebrate the amazing things that we do every day. Like, we would love to put a stop to that.
Yes.
So come into the tribe and share with us all the badass things that you do every day, every week, every month, every year. Like, what are you up to? What do you need support on? What amazing, imperfect, inspired actions did you take? And let us celebrate that with you, because maybe you're doing a secret side hustle. Maybe your family doesn't approve of what you're doing. Maybe you don't know that you have someone out there that supports you, even though you might. But know that we're here. Know that we get it, and we are so excited to celebrate the and small victories with you. So join us in the tribe, help others celebrate, and definitely post in there. Let us help you celebrate too.
Yes. And speaking of the tribe also and imperfect action, I was so proud to have my kids in a little live video last week. Was that last week? And sharing actually exactly about this, about taking imperfect action. My daughter shared about how she started a YouTube channel, and she just was like, she had this desire within her for quite some time, and she was just like, okay, I'm just going to do it. And she leapt. And she even shared how she posted her first video and then she deleted that first video and then has since posted a bunch more. But I think that was a really great reminder that even like that was enough to get her going, right? So she launched it and she didn't have to keep that original content that she launched with that was sort of like the trigger that she pulled, but, and then she deleted it and then put the other things, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, you don't have to be perfect and you can always go back and fix things. Like it's awesome that it doesn't have to be permanent.
Isn't that funny that we can learn so much from kids?
Yes.
Like your kids were so inspiring in that live. I was like, oh my God, Indy's doing it. We can do it too.
That's how I felt too. Yeah. They inspire me all the time. So,
and let's just tell you guys, because you're our tribe and this is the nest and nothing leaves the nest. I know that this is public and the whole world can access this, but just between us, our YouTube channel is full of really, really embarrassing imperfect action. So if you guys need a little inspiration, I mean, if you don't need the inspiration, then feel free to not go there.
I feel it. It's so funny because in our last episode, we told people not to go to our YouTube channel also.
Well, I'm not saying that I want everyone to go there.
This is our new marketing strategy is to just tell you guys to not go places. And then you're just
go
blow
to the
it
places
up.
we want you to go. We don't talk about YouTube that often for a reason. It's there. We leave it because it is a channel for people to find out more about us, I guess. But oh my God.
I think we have visions to grow it eventually or do something with it. And so it's there. And yeah, it's another little digital journal that we have of our journey. I was thinking we can do some like audio, what do they call them? Like the audiograms that we've been doing.
Yeah. I think if we decide to go the YouTube route, I will want a new YouTube channel because it is really awful. But I'm just saying, like, you guys need to go and check it out if you're scared of putting something embarrassing out there into the world because
we do it all the time. We put embarrassing things out all the time. That's funny.
We did also, like, remember when we put a typo in our email and we got like a bunch of responses and they were like, didn't you mean can't? And we're like, oh, thanks.
Yeah, I love it. And like people that like never respond to our emails, right? And they like find the one typo and
there's your marketing strategy right there. Just purposely put a typo so you can see who will respond.
Right. Like what's the purpose of telling? So I mean, I don't know. It's like you can't fix an email that's already gone out.
I mean, I appreciated it and it was really nice of them. I just thought it was really funny. Like talk about imperfect action.
I look back and I see a lot of typos in stuff that we've created and just released, and it's like who cares? Really, nobody is perfect. If you think that,
so funny.
Yeah, nobody is perfect.
And you'll hear out there a lot of messaging about like, make sure that you don't have typos because it makes you look very unprofessional. And there is a time and a place for something like that. Like if you are, submitting a resume for a job or something, you're going to want to proofread that and make sure that it's pretty legit. Or, if you're doing a Facebook ad that you've paid money for, you don't want typos out there on a paid ad. But also, especially within your tribe, within your community, don't worry about it. And if it's your first thing like out there in the world, and okay, let's just also say, if you do have a typo in a paid Facebook ad, you can fix it. Like nothing is unfixable. Mm-hmm. Unless you want to be the president and you have pictures of yourself partying or, I don't know. Yeah. But even that, you can come
wary of the screenshot. People do know how to screenshot things. So, you can also get Grammarly. Grammarly has been a really great little hack that I've discovered. So it's free and you can install it on all the things. And then it's like that extra protection of spell check in your life. So I would say the only thing the typo that I really notice is the the your and your. That one, I'm like, okay, I got to make sure that one doesn't happen.
I get judgy McJudderson. I will, yeah. I totally judge people who misuse your and their.
Oh, yes.
I'm like, people. But you know what? I will try to just have a little bit more compassion and just say that they are taking imperfect action and typing whatever they're typing and moving on with their life. Right?
Yes. Speaking of imperfect action, we have to wrap this up because there's a weed whacker outside of my house.
Okay. Wow.
But that is
tribe, bit.ly/BLE tribe. BestLifeever.buzz. Find out all about us, and we'll see you guys next week.
Wow, you crushed that. I suppose I could just mute myself and let you talk for a little bit longer, but you know what? Our podcast, we're taking imperfect action all the time with dogs running around and cats meowing and all kinds of crazy stuff happening, and yet we're still doing it. If we waited for our podcasting time to be perfect and our podcast to be perfect, holy moly, you guys, we would definitely not have 100 episodes.
Number 4.
Yeah, you would never, we'd on be on episode 3, maybe 1. But we did want to take a moment, though, before we close out the show to talk about our amazing special donation. That I'm like, what do we call it? I'm panicking. The weed whacker's coming.
I got you.
Okay, but let's talk about Aloha Harvest.
Let's talk about Aloha Harvest. So April 1st was a really exciting day for us. And we didn't try to trick anybody. All of this is actually happening. So we still have B2B out there. Broke Ass to Badass is our 8-week online program, and it is rolling admission. So if you're sitting out there waiting for our next launch, just jump on our website, apply, book a call with us. We'd love to chat with you. And starting April 1st, we are donating 5% of all of our revenue for the month to a charity, and this month it's Aloha Harvest, which is an amazing organization. They are a nonprofit that rescues quality donated food and delivers it free of charge to social service agencies feeding the hungry in Hawaii. So if you guys want to learn more about that organization, you can go to alohaharvest.org. And if you guys have been thinking about B2B or jumping in with some digital media services, definitely reach out to us and help us to contribute to Aloha Harvest this month.
Awesome. We are so excited, and we can't wait to see you guys in the tribe. So we'll see you on over there, bit.ly/BLE tribe, and we will catch you next Tuesday with another episode.
Bye.